everyone, my name's Christy. Welcome to my corner. Thank you for joining me today on this Flosstube Friday for Flosstube number 31. And I think I have a good bit to talk about today. I have a lot of stuff going on. I have an FO, very small FO. I have a bunch of whips. I touched a lot of things this week. I have a new start that is hopefully going to be finished for next week. I have some experiments. I have the tiniest of tiny hauls. Before we get to that, I want to welcome my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me on my crafty and artistic adventures, and welcome back to everyone who has been hanging out with me, you know, for the past few days, weeks, months, however long you have been hanging out. It has been so nice to get to know you here in the comments on YouTube and also on Instagram. And if you are not following me on Instagram, you can find me at Dr._Christy. I'll put that right here. And that is where I post pictures of my daily activities, right? I post pictures of works in progress. I post pictures of new starts and experiments and baking, my dog who's adorable, and I don't know, daily life. That's kind of where I am over there. Mostly stitching though. It's mostly stitching related. This is a channel about embroidery and cross stitch and other textile crafts, and baking and history and the history of all of those things. So if any of that is interesting to you and you are not subscribed, I'd love to have you subscribe and stick around. This week has been pretty good on the crafting front. It started off a bit slow. I lost my grandmother on Sunday, which was unexpected, but not surprising, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I kind of took it easy Sunday and Monday. I found out Sunday afternoon. So I took it easy on Monday, but I have to keep working, and stitching is soothing, and I was creating things. So that really helped. And, you know, during COVID, there aren't really funerals and stuff right now for us anyway. So you just have to process it and deal with it later, you know? But I'm glad that I got all those items to remember her by. She is the one who had all of the crystals and the swan that I'm going to turn into a pincushion. That was from her. So that'll be really nice to, when I finally get a chance to make this, and kind of, I don't know, think of her when I'm making it. So that's nice. So I'm doing pretty okay. It's sad, but you soldier on and do what needs to be done. So that put a damper on the beginning of my week, but I did get a little bit of stitching done. I got some happy mail. So on Monday, I got a drawing by my friend Angie, the dock stitcher, of a little jester guy. Isn't he fantastic? He's fantastic. He's fantastic. So, you know, it made me really happy. So that was really lovely to get in the mail on Monday, that she drew this silly dude for me. Look at those thighs. He's clearly one of the jumping, the acrobatic jesters. So thank you, Angie, for sending me him. He made my day. I got that. And then I also had a nice shout out from the Smoky Mountain Stitchers. And so thank you, ladies, for watching my channel and for saying such nice things about me. They are doing the temperature cross stitch pattern, and so they nicely mentioned me. So thanks so much for that. I appreciate it very much. So let's get to stitching, which is why you're here. My FO is connected to one of my FOs from last week. So last week, if you remember, I made some paper and I stitched up this little guy here, except that's the back. I stitched up this little guy here, and you know, I made this paper and I wanted a little lavender on it, and so I stitched that up. But I wasn't super happy with it. This is done in cotton, and it's all Devere cotton, which is lovely to work with. But if you look, the leaves are messy. I like the shape of them, but they're messy. And the problem is that because this is paper, it perforates, obviously, when you stick your needle in it, and that means that it's less, it's essentially like you could rip it really easily because of the way it's perforated, and so it's not even, I don't know. For paper, the way this was stitched just didn't work. So I'm still trying to experiment with that. And I made a second one out of silks. And I used instead of the long and short stitch, which I used for the other one, the leaves in the other one, I used a fishbone stitch for these leaves. And so they kind of form a V and cross over each other. And that was much more regular and it didn't damage the paper as much. But I like this color leaf better. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to take this color leaf and do it in this style with this silk, this purple silk, because I like the brighter purple better for the flowers. And I will be doing a few more of these because I have some friends who have requested them. I have more paper and I want to do, I'm going to be doing I'm going to do more bunches of lavender for a friend. And in fact, I have more paper soaking to be pulped later. And I've added a little bit of brown paper to make it more natural colored paper. So not so stark white. And I also have some lavender buds, lavender flowers that I want to put in the paper that I stitched the lavender on. So I'm going to try experimenting with making paper this weekend again using flowers in the paper. I also have rose petals, and I also have a bunch of dried flowers in here that I got they're made for resin, but I bought them for paper making because I knew that I was going to try and make paper. So I think I'm going to experiment with putting botanicals inside of paper. I want to do kind of a series of botanicals on this paper, and so I have the lavender. I want to do clover. I want to do a fern, just like a fern leaf with like the leaves. Nadine from Nad's X Stitch suggested pine cones, I think she said, and that would look really cute. So I just have a whole bunch of ideas of what I want to do with the paper. I have a few more pieces of this white paper left that's already made. And then I plan on, like I said, I have paper soaking right now to be pulped tomorrow or Sunday that will be I'm hoping a little bit more natural colored. That's my hope, as opposed to stark white. We'll see. I mean, like I said, it's all an experiment. That's also an experiment, but that's not the experiment for this week. So the experiment for this week, why don't I just go into that, is a new start. I have this cone of DMC 310, and I just feel like I need to use it. And I like embroideries that are like sketches, right? That are like line drawings. And I've been kind of inspired by my mom's watercolor. So my mom has been exploring watercolors, and she's been doing some cool stuff like this here. Here, I'll turn this, where it's like a watercolor and then a pen on top of the watercolor. Well, I'm very interested in trying that with fabric. So I have been playing around with watercolor on fabric, doing some experiments. I also did an experiment with gold leaf because, as you all know, those of you who have been following me know that I want to do gold leaf on fabric for my Hildegard of Bingen Cosmic Egg piece. And I thought, well, I might as well just test it out. And it was great. It worked perfectly. So that's a go, everybody. I now know that the gold leaf on fabric works. All of this experimentation is going towards this piece. And it is a pile of books, and it says books are magic. And I want to kind of color the pages to like antique them. I want this book to be a dark green. I want this book to be a maroon, and I want this book to be a blue, and then there's going to be gold leafing throughout the whole thing. So this will hopefully be done next week, and then I'm going to do something with it. I don't know. I'm thinking about putting all my old finishes up for sale if anybody wants original pieces by me. I'm thinking of doing that, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I'm excited about this, and I think it'll be really, really nice. It's going to go into a dark hoop. I have a hoop stained. I've stained a hoop. It just needs to be varnished. And so then I can start So it's gonna, you know, be a dark brown on here. And I feel like I can't really paint in gold leaf until it's like in its hoop, because I don't want to re-stretch it. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want to paint it, take it off this orange hoop, and then re-hoop it in this hoop with possibly a slightly different tension. I don't know. I just feel more comfortable if it's like in this hoop, ready to go, and I just paint over it. So that is my start and the main whip I've been focusing on this week. I also had a crafting with my mom night last night. Yesterday was her birthday, and we missed Sunday because I was feeling a little bit raw on Sunday. So we did our crafting last night, and we worked on our temperature libraries. And so I did these 6 here. So that's fun. And I discovered that I have done every temperature from below 32 degrees to 83 degrees Fahrenheit. I have so many different colors in this bookshelf. And this bookshelf is available on my Etsy shop, which I'll link down below. And it's available in both an embroidery pattern and a cross stitch pattern. And it's getting a little bit late in the year, but I think it's still definitely doable. They're very small. It's kind of a small amount of stitching every day or every week. So if you are interested in it, then go for it. I worked a bit on my dragon and harpy, and this is what it's going to look like. And here is where I am. I'm getting pretty far. I did have to go and pick up some more flosses, so that's part of my haul. But I'm almost done with my harpy, which is really exciting. I'm really enjoying this. The 3 colors is perfect, especially like when you can get into a rhythm. It's really nice. And I'm stitching in hand on a 14 count natural Aida. And I'm stitching it in the called for DMC, which is 794 is the light one, 312 is the medium one, and 939 is the dark one. So this is charted in 3 colors, a light, a medium, and a dark. And you can basically stitch it in any 3 colors and you'll get the same effect. So I'm really pleased with it. And then over here will be the dragon. And this is a design that I did based on a lace pattern that is in a manuscript housed at the Metropolitan Museum of Art that is from 1596. And so it's called the Dragon and the Harpy, or the Harpy and Dragon 1596. You can also find this on my Etsy shop, which is linked down below if you are interested in stitching it. The final whip that I have been working on, or that I worked on today, is my Hildegard of Bingen's Cosmic Egg, and this is what it's going to look like when it's done. This is a medieval image from the 12th century by a woman named Hildegard of Bingen, who was a nun and a mystic, and this is a picture of the universe. And if you want to learn more about this image and Hildegard, I did record a video about it that I'll put up here, and so you can check that out. But here is where I am. I have been working on the flames over here and the sun. So the sun is almost finished, and then I have the planets up here, and then I have a bunch of flames happening, and then there's like the frame, and then I'm done. So it's a quick, not a quick stitch, it's a quick stitch, but it's not a quick stitch. But I'm so excited. I hadn't worked on this all week, and then today I invited myself. So I was watching Witchcraft. I'll link her down below. She's lovely. I was watching her video, and she mentioned a Zoom get-together with Crafty Emily's Facebook group, who I will also link down below. And I invited myself, as I do. I hope that I'll be invited back. So I hung out with them on Zoom, and it was really lovely, and I got to like meet other stitchers, which is really great, and I got some work done on my Hildegard. So thank you, Emily, for letting me crash your party. I appreciate that very much. It was really fun, and it was really nice to like meet people instead of just like watching them on YouTube. So that was really, really, really lovely. But it got me also to work for a bit on my Hildegard piece. So that's really exciting. I think that that's all of my whips for this week. Maybe this is going to be a very short video. I guess maybe I don't have very much to talk about. Oh well, that's okay too. I do have a tiny haul. I got my Stitchy box, which is right here. The Stitchy box Stash Delights box that I unboxed on Tuesday. I'll post a link to that video up here so you can check that out. And it was okay. I do think I'm going to not renew the subscription. I don't feel like I was ripped off at all. And I like the stuff in it, but yeah, I think I'm going to stop that subscription, and I'll still get 2 boxes. I'll get 2 more boxes because I'm paid 2 months ahead. And so that'll be very fun, and it'll kind of lead me into the summer. But yeah, so that's my plan on that. So check out that video if you're interested in seeing the unboxing of that. And then the only other thing I got is 2 colors of DMC that I sort of ran out of. The navy is the dark, is the 939. The 939 that is in my Harpy and Dragon. It's the dark color in my Harpy and Dragon. And then the orange is 921. And it is to deal with, this is to kind of replace this orange here, because I am very, very low. Now, this orange here is Dying for Cross Stitch Everything Pumpkin. I can get more of it, but I can only get it in like a 50-yard skein. So I thought I would try and get it in DMC. And I didn't, and it's not perfect. It looks very not perfect on your screen. It looks much closer in real life. I may just have to get I think I may just need to get the original. The Dying for Cross Stitch. Because this isn't quite right. Yeah, now that I'm seeing it on camera, that is a very different color. And when I look at it in this light, rather than the light in the store, it's a very different color. All right, well, that solves that problem then. But anyway, that's all my haul. I got more than 2 skeins, but I basically got 3 skeins I got 6 skeins of DMC in these 2 colors, and I got a Stitchy box. Oh, and I got some very, very cheap paintbrushes so that I could do the glue for the gold leaf and not ruin my nice watercolor paintbrushes. And so that's it. That's my haul. I always have a lot of plans. Like I had mentioned, I want to make some paper. I want to work on my whips, and I want to completely finish the book project. The Books Are Magic project. I want that finished. I had mentioned last week working on my Bayou Tapestry Archers scarf and changing it because I got this new wool that I want to stitch it in. I had been talking about how to like get it off. So the problem is that, and I don't have it with me to show, but the problem is that, well, there are a couple problems. The images of the archers, I'll post a picture here. The images of the archers are small, smaller than I want them to be, I think. But the problem is that I sketched them in with a heat erasable pen, which in general is not a problem, except that this is a scarf, right? Like this is an item of clothing that may go outside when it's cold. And then you have these like ghost archers essentially popping up on this really nice linen scarf. And so I was like, oh, well, I could throw it in the wash. I could like scrub it out. I could like do it. And I'm like, why don't I just cut it? So I'm just going to cut the archers off. I'm going to re-sew it. I'm going to re-knot all the little tassels. And I'm going to go from there and just sketch it back on, use the wool that I want to use, and it'll be perfect. And no one will ever know. I'll make the archers slightly bigger and it'll be great. So I'm going to do that, definitely. I think that's all I'm going to work on this week. We're getting into the busy part of the semester, so I won't have a ton of time. I also had wanted to wet felt my Scandinavian deer needle felting kind of piece, and I still want to do that. I didn't have time to do that. I still want to do that. I have sewing. I have so many things I want to do that I'm not going to get them all done, but I have different ideas of different things that I would like to do. So I will, get to them eventually. I'll get to them eventually. I think that's it from me. So thank you all so much for watching today. I hope that you saw something that was interesting or inspiring or, whatever. I hope you enjoyed it, and it was nice to chat with you today, and I will talk to you in my next video. And so with all that being said, please take good care of yourselves and have a good one. Bye.